Okay, that's okay, Dr. Syed, can you hear me?
Yes, Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum
Good morning,
wabarakatuh.
everyone.
Okay, Dr. Syed, I shall open the session, in a bit.
Okay.
Okay, recording. All right. Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. It's a gloomy day. Well, I hope this sharing session won't be as gloomy as the weather today. Uh, welcome to the second, the XC webinar on generative AI for teaching and learning. I'm Zaliha Abdullah, and I will be your moderator for today's session. First and foremost, thank you all for joining us. We are thrilled to have all of you here, whether you're new to AI or looking to enhance your teaching and learning strategies with the latest advancement. This workshop is part of our ongoing efforts to support educators in embracing digital transformation. Today we have an exciting lineup of speakers, all of whom have experience integrating technology into education, especially in their teaching sessions. We have Associate Prof. Dr. Syed Norris, Dr. Nurul Farhana, and Associate Prof. Dr. Nura Shikin. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, Associate Prof. Dr. Norbiha will not be able to join us today. As a result, we will be shortening the workshop, which will now conclude around 3 in the afternoon instead of 5. But nevertheless, we will arrange another session with Dr. Norbiha in the near future and keep you informed, Now, without further ado, let me introduce our first speaker, Associate Prof. Dr. Syed Norris Hikmi Syed Abdullah. Shahir UTM, you can't hear me, is it? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, because there's a response at the chat section saying you can't hear me. Okay, just let us know, Okay, apologize in advance. We have to conduct this session in English because we also have partners from another country like Cambodia, Laos that will be attending this session, Okay, now without further ado, let me introduce our first speaker just now, back to Dr. Syed Norris, He has a wealth of knowledge in computer science. He was the Deputy Director at the Department of Digital Services, or UTM Digital, and now he is in charge of UTM Center for Student Innovation and Technology Entrepreneurship, or known as UTM Excite, as the Director. Dr. Syed will be guiding us through the foundational aspect of generative AI for teaching and learning. So, Dr. Syed, I hand it over to you, Dr. Syed.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Dr. Zaliha. So, I think, all right, okay. Assalamualaikum and very good morning, everyone. So, let me share my slide first. Okay. Can you see the slide, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so first of all, thank you for your participation in this session, right? So what I'm going to do is to share with everyone the what we call the fundamental aspect or in terms of understanding generative AI in higher education. Okay, so these are the things that we are going to cover in our discussion. So I'm going to introduce to generative AI concepts, the rules of generative AI in modern educations, and also then we will discuss on how Gen AI is currently transforming teaching and learning, and then we will continue with opportunities and challenges, and we will conclude with the evolving roles of educators as a result of Gen AI implementation or utilization. Okay, so let's look at in terms of the concept of Gen AI. So this, I think this is not a very new things from what we call to everyone, right? So you have, I think most of us already familiar or use Gen AI tools. Okay, whenever we say about Chat GPT, right? Copilot. So those are among those the tools that I believe most of us already have some experience with it, right? But if you look at uh, the principle behind the Gen AI or generative AI is basically the usage of machine learning. Okay, machine learning. So this is whenever we say about Gen AI, is a type or a form of AI that utilize machine learning models. Okay, so the principle is basically the models learn. Okay, learn from the data that we accumulate or we aggregate, right, from sources. Okay, from sources, and then we are also the provider to the data. Okay, to the data, and also will create the knowledge that will be used by the machine learning models. Okay, so we can be the provider, or the data can be sourced from any from other sources as well. Okay, and then from here, so we use it to create new and original content. Okay, so the word is new and original content, because it's learning from the data and then it's create the new things. So whether it will be in form of images, text, video, music, and we can have more than that, right? Product design and so on. We can have that as a result of Gen AI usage. And of course, this is can only be done, okay, by understanding the pattern and the structures from the existing data. Okay, so this is the things that we normally experience, right? As for instance, whenever we are using ChatGPT or Copilot or Gemini, okay. So whenever we provide our prompts, right? So we will receive the feedbacks, right, or the response for our prompt, and basically the response is based on the learning, okay, that the AI or Gen AI um, perform on the existing data. Okay, and of course there are plenty of techniques and frameworks involved, okay, for the Gen AI implementation, right? So one of the famous technique is deep learning, right? But of course we have many more. I just mentioned 3 here, right? Deep learning, transformer models, and generative adversarial networks. If we look at further in terms of the types of Gen AI, right? There are more, right? There are more. If I'm not mistaken, more than 6 type of techniques or framework that we can use for Gen AI. Okay, so in terms of how it works, okay, so this is an example, right? If you look at AI image generator, so this is just one example, okay? So of course, if it is text-based, so it's going to be a little bit different. But if we are doing it for AI image generator, let's say we are generating AI image by using particular tools. Okay, okay. So let's say we are using DAL-E, right? For example, okay. So for this one, okay. So it will have the data set. Okay, start from the data set. So this is the first step. Okay, we need to have the data first, right? So from the data set here, right, we will use the model, okay, AI model to train the AI image generator. Okay, so this and of course by using the suitable or the chosen algorithms, right? Because we need to, it depends on the tools that we have. Sometimes certain tools being equipped with more than one algorithms, right? So this is the process of learning. Okay, this is where the process of learning happen, and then from the learning it will generate the response. Okay, so this means it will produce the new image for us based on our prompts. Okay, based on our prompts. So this is the typical process. Okay, so often we have sorry, often we give the prompting. Okay, but in some cases sometimes it automatically generate based on the features of the tools that we are using. Okay, and then of course, right, so in the end we have the image. Okay, in the end we have the image, which is the final output based on the prompt that we have made. All right, so if you look at the tools that we may have, I think this is not big enough in terms of diagram. You can find the diagram in if you search for Gen AI Prism, you can find this diagram. So this is one of the what called categorizations of AI tools. Okay, AI tools, right? So there are here they categorize it into sound, design, close, video, conversational, and text. Right. So there are what we call categorization that we can use to identify which tools that we want to use based on the purpose that we plan. Right. So these are some things that you may refer later. Right. And of course, I will not explain about each tools here, right? So there are plenty of tools here. Okay, but if you look at the use of Gen AI in general, right? So this is based on the recent data from Gartner, right? So the primary focus of Gen AI initiative at the moment is more focused on the customer experience or retention. So that's why whenever we talk about personalization of products, okay, product offering, customization of product offering to the customer. So this is the core, okay, the core focus of generative AI that being used by businesses nowadays. Okay, so but of course in higher education context, we may also use or apply this in higher education context, right? So then for others is for revenue growth and cost optimization, and then other parts is for business continuity. So these are the things that I believe we need to whenever we strategize for Gen AI implementation for higher education, we need to also set the priorities. So which one should be the focus for our higher education Gen AI initiative. Okay, so let's move to a little bit on the evolution of AI in education. Okay, so this is how AI being transformed, okay, from actually it's been around since 1957. Okay, so because as we know, it's not a new thing. AI is already around for so many years. Okay, for so many years. So that's why in terms of the boom or the explosion of AI that becomes the disruptive things to us nowadays is basically due to the timing and also the surrounding ecosystems. So if you look at here, right? So I don't want to elaborate more a lot on what happened before 2000s, right? But if you look at starting from 2008 here, okay, we have MOOCs. We already start with MOOCs, okay. Then in 2011, IBM introduced what they call as IBM Watson, okay. So then this is basically based on the natural language processings. Okay, so which is one of the AI technologies. And then in 2013, Coursera and Udacity so already introduced what we call as online courses with AI-powered assessment, okay, and feedback. And of course, if we fast forward, okay, fast forward to 2022 and 2023, we can see that we have a more variety of AI system. Okay, so not only if we look at 2015 to 2016, so we have what we call a chatbot and so on. But whenever we go to last couple of years, okay, so this is where we have different type of outputs or different types of services that we can offer through Gen AI. Okay, so I share again this picture because I would like to highlight, right? So the decision, right? Whenever we want to use Gen AI in education is basically before you choose the tools, right? We need to identify the usage, okay, the usage. And in modern educations, these are 4 common usage of Gen AI. Okay, the first is to facilitate in terms of the content creation. Okay, so from designing the curriculum until designing the course content. Okay, so this is the things that we normally do nowadays with assistance of Gen AI. Right, so I believe some of us generate images, some of us create the diagram or even the what we call the lecture slide by using the AI tools. And another thing is on the personalization. Okay, we know that Gen AI can learn about the user. Okay, whenever it communicate or interact, it will learn based on the prompt or based on the input that they receive from the user. Okay, so from here, Gen AI can assist in terms of the personalization of content. Okay, personalization of content, and of course, different. It even can go to the individual or group levels. Okay, so that's why we can customize the content based on the different level of learners. Okay, so this is another things. And third is the assessment. Okay, so assessment is not a new thing, right? So as I mentioned just now, so it's already been introduced by Coursera in 2013, around 2013. So but of course the way how the what we call the intelligent features for the assessment has been improved, right? Or by the researcher from time to time. So that's why in the end, later or now, we can have the smart assessment that being equipped by the assistant of Gen AI. And another thing is the tutoring. Okay, I will share some of the cases, some of the case study, right, from for the tutoring that been done by the university. Okay, but before that, so allow me to share this, which is from Deloitte, right? So that's give us some what we call guidance in terms of the usage or how higher education institutions, okay, can leverage Gen AI. But this one is from a leader's perspective. Okay, so this one is from leader's perspective. So whenever the institution is planning for AI, for Gen AI implementation in higher educations, right? So we need to look at it from 3 different perspectives, right? for the first one, if for operational excellence, right? So this is where we can use AI to streamline the administration. Okay, so in terms of the strategy, we can use it to streamline the administration, and of course to assist in terms of automating the document processing. Okay, and then from here we can move to the talent. Okay, talent experience. So this is from for recruitment, right? Starting from job application screening until until what we call as a training need assessment or training plan for organizations. Okay, and then the third is for financial insight. Okay, financial insight. So this is another interesting thing, features that we can implement. Okay, and of course it will help in terms of the what we call financial planning and also forecasting, right? And if we move to student assess, okay, so this is the focus of teaching and learning, right? So student assess, as I mentioned just now, is on personalized learning. Okay, so from admission of the student, okay, we can have the profiling of the student, we can understand the needs of the student, and of course create the virtual tutor. Okay, so that will assist them individually, okay, individually, right, and help them for their learning plan. Okay, and then of course in some institution they already have info bot or chat bot that can assist or answer the student inquiries from time to time. Okay, and then the next part is the diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay, so this is another things we can also assist in terms of making the course material available not only in a single language, right? So we can with the Gen AI tool, it will be easily to translate the material and so on. And of course, it helps not only to serve the normal student, but also our special students. So this is the things that we can also have in the future. Okay, and another things is to automate for what we call, this is FAFSA, SA is the US I think financial aid, right, for their student over there. But of course for other countries, okay, we can also have what Gen AI can also help in terms of the matching the students with their with the aids or with the scholarships or even the fund that available for them. Okay. Okay, and the bottom part is for research. Okay, so I'm not going to elaborate more on research, but because our focus is more on teaching and learning. But of course, if we for research student or for us even as a researcher, so we can use Gen AI for many purposes, right? So some of us already experience in what we call come up with their grant proposal, okay, by using AI tools, right? So some of us are even use AI, and we can see a lot of trainings that use AI for literature review, right, or for literature analysis. So those are amongst the usage, but we can go beyond that, even up to the research administration. Okay, so this is an example of a real world application, okay, of what we call as AI powered tutoring and support systems. Okay, so this is shared by I think a senior lecturer, right, from LSST Wembley, right? So this the function that being provided by this AI-powered tutoring and support system includes this, right? So the first one, it includes the adaptive learning platform, right? So they can what we call tailor the tutorial to individual student, okay? Custom or personalize the tutorial to individual student, and then it has what we call virtual tutors and also chatbots, right? That will provide feedback based on the student inquiries, right? And then it has what we call as feedback and assessment systems or assessment features. And last but not least, it also provides the supplementary learning resources. Okay, so if you search for this keyword, I believe you can read more on the application, how they apply this AI-powered tutoring and support system. Okay, and then the application, the second application is in terms of content creation for courses, right? So this is how we can use Gen AI to create new teaching materials. Okay? And of course, the teaching material, for example, here, knowledge here. So they come up with a video, okay? A video, right, to explain on the anatomy, right, or maybe the content which is generated by using Gen AI. Okay, so even we can generate that is easier to show to the students the process, okay, based on the video that we created. Okay. So, and of course, beyond that, we can also create other things such as reading lists, student guides, and even discussion questions, flashcard, and even summaries for the course content. So these are among the things that we can create, right? Or among the contents that we can create for our courses. Okay, we can also refer to the example here. Okay, and then this is in terms of platform, right? So an example from MIT Sloan AI for Teaching and Learning Hub. Okay, so they have, if you visit this hub, you can look, see there are plenty of resources, okay, guideline. Okay, so this is the thing that I believe in most university, they will also have this kind of learning hub in the future, okay, for AI, specifically for AI. Okay, so these are the things that we can conclude whenever we talk about transforming teaching and learning with Gen AI. Okay, so the first thing is we can leverage it to generate diverse learning pathway, right? So that means we can create a more innovative curriculum. Okay, so this is the things that we should do by using the tools that we have. Okay, and then another thing is real-time adaptation. So where we can modify teaching on the fly, right? So we can do, or we can change the content, right, to address the student queries, right? So these are the things that we can also do by using Gen AI. And of course, interactive learning, right? So this is another features that we can improve, right? Because we can have better content, we can have we can create more simulation and gamified lessons. Okay. And another thing is the enhance in terms of the creativity. Okay. So of course, we have pros and cons whenever we talk about creativity. Okay, but sometimes we don't have the idea. Okay, we don't have the idea. So whenever we want to trigger, all right, so start with something. So this is where we can make use of Gen AI, right? So, and of course, whenever we get the feedback from Gen AI on certain topics, right, we will further provide further prompts, right, to satisfy our needs. So this is where the process will head in terms of the generation of or exploring the new ideas, okay, by both, not only by teachers but also by students. Okay, and last but not least is enhanced student engagement and interaction. So this is where we can see through the dynamic content, through the immediate feedback that we can provide, and also the collaborative tools. Okay, so we can see a lot of cloud-based application nowadays, right? Or being offered as cloud as services, software as services applications, right? So that can be that being equipped with AI features, okay, and can also support the collaborative works. Okay, so these are the things that will facilitate in terms of the learning, right? So we can give the feedback easily, and of course we can AI can enhance the collaborations, okay, among the users. Okay, however, right, so whenever we want to implement or to transform teaching and learning by using Gen AI, okay, so these are the things that should be in mind, okay, by us, especially the instructor or the educators, okay. So these are the things that we should put in mind. So in terms of the integration of AI, okay, the first is to have awareness on disruptive change. Okay, so this is the thing, right? So we want everyone in organization, right, to aware on the disruptive change, and of course there should be change management in place, right, to facilitate the process. Okay, and then another thing is training faculty. Okay, so we want everyone to aware on the not only aware but well versed with the technology. Okay, so this is where we need to have what we call to plan the Gen AI implementation, okay, and also the competency development. Okay, although we can learn from Gen AI, but there should also be a training plan to assist in terms of proper or strategic usage of Gen AI in teaching and learning. Okay, another thing is the changing teaching and assessment practices. Okay, so we have a change, right? Maybe 20 years ago we are using transparency, okay, in class, right? Then we move to PowerPoint based or slide based presentation, okay, deliveries, okay, and nowadays we have many other tools that comes with Gen AI. Okay, so these are the things that we need to what we call adapt with, right? So adaptive. So that's we cannot stay behind, right? We need to make sure that we have the not only the ability but also the access, right, to these things. Okay, so that's why in order to change the teaching and assessment practices, right, access to the technology should be there. Okay, should be there. And then students as co-partners with faculty. Okay, so we need to see students as co-partner because we want them to co-create the innovation, to co-create the knowledge, the new things, to learn not only based on what Gen AI propose, but also creating the new knowledge, right, by using Gen AI. So these are the things that we can also have, right, with proper or responsible integration of Gen AI in teaching and learning. And then fifth is imparting learning literacies, right? Adapted to Gen AI era. So this is another things that we want to make sure that in organization, right? So we are not only the user of Gen AI, okay? We also have to make sure other peoples also have the literacy on Gen AI. Okay, so and of course, in the next slide, I will share with everyone the what we call the levels of Gen AI practice in teaching and learning that we can refer. Okay, and then another thing is the applied research is needed. Okay, so from time to time, right? So we need more case studies to help people in understanding, right, the success, okay, and how people can make use or leverage Gen AI in teaching and learning. So there should be more applied research that look at this topic, okay, especially for teaching and learning. Okay, so this is another part that looks into the Gen AI integration level. Okay? So we can have actually there are 4 levels of Gen AI integration levels. Okay, so the first one is start from novice stage. Okay, so this is what we call as a minimal usage of Gen AI tools. Okay, and then we also have during this stage is more on what we call imperative towards a sense of curiosity. Okay, people are still asking what are the benefits that they can get or derive from engaging with Gen AI technology. So this is still the early stage, okay, for organizations. Okay. Then we can move to the next stage or the next level, which is Gen AI as a utility, right? So for this one or for this level, or this is considered as a second phase, right? So it's more on using Gen AI as a supplementary instrument. Okay, so for example, we incorporate the usage of ChatGPT in our daily routines. Okay, so we can also what we call, for example, generate the content, for our paper write-up or for our class content. So those are among those things that we consider as second level. Okay, and if we move to third level, which is co-pilot, so this is where Gen AI already functions as strategic tools for organizations. Okay, so that helps us not only in providing us with knowledge on certain things, but also guiding our decision making. Okay, so this is another levels, and of course, it will provide significant impact because we need to make sure the data that we have that being provided by Gen AI is free of biases before we making or we decide based on their recommendations. Okay. Okay, then another level, which is the highest, is the transformative Gen AI. Okay. So this one is more on the what we call as an organization, they plan everything. Okay, right? Even we plan our teaching strategies and methodologies. Okay, by looking at Gen AI. Right? So how we can redefine our process, how we can also customize the Gen AI for our purpose, or especially teaching and learning. Okay, so this is more challenging, right? But of course, with what we call proper exposure on the technology, and also our expertise in teaching and learning domain, right? We may in the future achieve this, hopefully, right? Okay, and let's look at the opportunities and challenges, right? So I believe based on the usage, how we can leverage, so those are basically answered the opportunities that we can have, right? So we can have, or we can provide personalized learning pathways, right? So and then we can also have a scalable content creation. Okay, so just think about what image we want to generate, what content that we want to put in our class, for our class or for our courses, right? So then put it into the tools. Okay, place it in the tools. So then we will have the outcome. And third is the immediate feedback and assessment. So in some cases, with the use of chatbot and so on, right, we can realize this. And last but not least is the interactive learning and engagement. Okay. However, right, the implementation of Gen AI is also subject to a number of challenges that we need to aware of. So the first one is the bias and ethical issues in algorithm design. So this is in most cases beyond our control, but we need to check the content or the outcome sometimes whether it is true or not. Okay, so this is the responsibility of us, the user, but the algorithm is not from us. Okay, that's from the researcher who come up with this algorithm. And then data privacy and security concerns. So this is also another challenge, right? So we reframe ourselves from providing more data, right? So because we are afraid in terms of the privacy and security concern. Okay, so this is another issues. But of course, if we want to offer personalization, right, we need to know about the person. Okay, if we don't know about the person behavior, the person characteristics, so we will not be able to offer personalization to our student or even our learners. Okay, and then another thing is the issues of over reliance on technology, right? So that is something that we should carefully look or consider. So that's become most of the concern nowadays. Okay, so not only us, if we look at our students, so they will whenever they have the assignment, the first thing that they will do is to use Gen AI. Okay, but what happened, right? So if the tools is not what we call the outcome of Gen AI is not properly assessed by the user. So this will become the what we call the shortcomings of the implementation or the challenges that we should overcome. Okay, and then another thing is the digital divide and equal access. Right, so of course with reliance on these tools, okay, most of the things being offered as cloud-based application of cloud-based services. Okay, so the access to the tools. Okay, so not everything's free, right? And of course, if we want more features, more comprehensive features, some of the tools we need to pay huge amount for that, right? Which is not affordable for for everyone. So these are the things that we need to consider, right? So, and if we want to implement, we have to make sure we have the access not only to the instructors or to the educators, but also to our students. Okay, so let me conclude my session with the evolving roles of educators, okay, with Gen AI. Okay, so these are the things that we should know, right? For the first, right, we may know that we are the content experts, okay, but nowadays most of the resources, okay, most of the knowledge, right, even the students already provide, being provided by what we call are available, okay, through Gen AI. Okay, so what is the role of educators? So we need to what we call to shift from, not shift actually, right? To we are still the content expert, okay, we are still the content expert, but we need to add another role, which is facilitators, okay, to us, right? So guide student inquiry rather than delivering lectures, okay. As what I did today, if I don't provide the slide, you can find the information everywhere, okay. So, and then collaboration with AI. Okay, so this is another things that we can leverage on what we call as AI generated insight to enhance our curriculum. So I believe this is another interesting things that should be leveraged by most of educators. Okay, and then continuous professional development, right? So this is another thing that looks into the skills, okay? How we can improve our skills or competencies, okay? Not only in integrating the Gen AI, but also in other emerging technologies, because we can look for, or we can find for solutions on so many aspects or so many domain by using Gen AI. Okay? And then last but not least is the innovation and creativity. So this is another things that we should not, right? Remember, if we over reliance, okay, so we hope it not becomes obstacles to our innovation and creativity. So however, let's look at from the other point of view, right? So if we have the tools, how we can experiment more, okay? How we can use or introduce more variety of teaching medium or teaching methods in our teaching and learning, right? Okay, I think I have arrived to my, that was my last slide, okay? Right, so okay, let's proceed with Q&A. I hand it over to
Dr. Said, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear, Doctor.
Okay, it was breaking up a bit just now. Okay, thank you, Dr. Said, for the insightful presentation. Yeah. I appreciate your point about the role of educators. If I may share, in our case, yeah, Dr. Said, we do have one research grant, isn't it, involved in developing the platform using chatbot, yeah, AI chatbot. And in our case, we are trying to enhance students' creativity, yes, and as educators, we managed to secure, if everybody know, UTM Digital Infused Research Grant, or DIR. And at the moment, we are developing a platform. I'll share with you the link at the chat section, but this is still at the trial version, yeah? you know, as lecturers who hold so many roles, right? We are like the octopus, sotong, isn't it? We have so many tasks to deal with, and sometimes it affect, you know, our time of giving, you know, prompt feedback to the students. So having these challenges, myself, Dr. Syed, and a few others decided to apply for the grant and build this platform using AI chatbot. So students can post their design on the platform and get, you know, response directly. The response has been developed by our team. We already know what the student's going to ask, so they will get that prompt answers directly. So it's quite interesting, and we look forward to share, you know, the result in the future. So this is another way, isn't it, to for educators to use their creativity in helping out students. Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's read it together. So in this 2 hour long project, this
Uh, who's that? Okay, now we will now open for the floor, yeah, to ask questions. Please feel free to type your questions in the chat section or use the raise hand, you know, features if you would like to ask question directly. Fahrul Huyuk, we are more than sotong, especially with news here. Okay, understood. Sotong Kurita, yeah, Fahrul Huyuk. Any questions from the floor? Before we move on to our second speaker.
Sorry, one quick question. Just now, Jonas mentioned about, can you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Sarima, yes.
About the role of lecturers now being a facilitator. I'm just wondering whether in the near future, even the role of facilitator will be taken over by AI. Any thoughts?
Okay, Dr. Syed.
Okay, I think that's a valid question, good question, and that becomes the worries of most of us. Okay, but I think one of the things that we need to look into whenever we going back to the educator's role here, right? So it's basically our understanding on the context. Okay, understanding on the context. That one is basically can at the moment cannot be replaced, right, by the AI, because no by Gen AI, because we are the one who provide them with context. Okay, in terms of the what we call the creativity, that one they can beat us nowadays. Okay, but in terms of the complexity, they can also beat us. But in terms of the understanding of the context, that is our strength. Okay? So that one is not something that can be replaced by AI at the moment.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think in Dr. Syed's presentation just now also we can see that there is an importance of human touch, isn't it? Like even though you're using AI, there still require validation from us as the expert. We need to be there, and to validate, this is why we need certain approach in teaching and learning. Let's say you're using project-based learning. There are steps in project-based learning where we're going to have reflection session with the students, where we're going to have, you know, a feedback session. So this is where we comes in. Students can refer to such technology, yet we have to be there to still validate, you know, the outcomes or whatever they have produced in a way. So, Dr. Sarima, I hope that answer your questions.
Yes, it answers very good answer indeed. It's just that, you know, with the capability of AI being able to actually think for themselves, like sort of bothers us, you know, yeah, especially the technology advancements that we heard from China, where they created this technology where AI can eventually decide on their own. So just a thought.
Yeah, we may not know what's the future holds, isn't it? Even now, okay, the questions in the chat section said, what's next? We already have metaverse. Even my children are using the VR application to learn history, you know, these days. It can be just anything, yet without proper strategy or approach, I don't think those learning process can be effective. Yeah, Dr. Syed. That's why we always, you know, behind the platform we built, there's certain strategy to it, so that can promise effectiveness of the learning session and provide more validation for our students in a way. Human touch is still there. That's a model, isn't it? Where the hand, the mind, you know, the soul needs to be there together all the way using whatever technology. Okay. So thank you, Dr. Sarima, for the question. Let's see. We have more, Dr. Syed, in the chat section. Fazli Hanif, yeah? Fazli Hanil, the issues is the over-reliance of not only the students, but among staff also. Agree? If this continue, not even the students, but lecturers may lose their skills, especially critical thinking and writing. What do you think, Dr. Syed?
Okay. It depends how we look at those issues, right? Of course, if we're looking at our concern, right, to over reliance, right, so that will become our worry, right? But of course, at the same time, right. So as I mentioned, if we look at from the different point of view, okay. So we may also look at it as a way to instill or trigger a creation of new knowledge. Okay, creation of new knowledge. So this is the things that I think will somehow we need to tolerate on that, right?
Yeah, interesting. There are more and more research, Dr. Syed, these days showing people becoming addicted,
Overrelates.
isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it becomes an addiction somehow. It's quite scary. Yeah, something that we can look into, and our studies is doing that as well. However, what are the ways, like Dr. Hadijah here have asked question as well. Can you share some tips how to overcome digital divide among students? Or for a novice like me who rely on or free of charge AI tools?
I think for for example, for public universities in Malaysia, right? So we have what we call as one what we call as a centralized subscription of um, Office 365, right? For example, and that one comes together with Copilot, okay, one of the AI tools. But of course, Copilot cannot generate everything, right? Cannot generate everything. So, but it serves certain purposes, okay, especially for inquire on the knowledge and so on. You can leverage on that, okay. So of course it's not the best tools, but it can serve the purpose for basic inquiry, not only basic, even generating the PowerPoint slide you can do by using the license that being provided by the ministries. Okay, so that's one of the solution that's already been there, right? But of course, for other tools at the moment, if we try to find the free one, right? So not so many open source that have a very rich data, okay? So that can help us in generating the output from the Gen AI.
Thank you. Yeah, Copilot. I hardly use them. That's quite useful. I mean, it's free, yeah, Dr. Said, for all UTM staff.
Yes, it's free for all UTM staff and also UTM student.
Okay, do take note, yeah, Dr. Hadijah. Maybe you can try it out after this. More question from Roziha. Please suggest suitable assessment criteria for students' work and projects in the era of teaching and learning using AI. This reminds me of our NALI, New Academia Learning Innovation. Do you want to add to it, Dr. Said?
Yeah, I think, okay. That's one of the, what we call, what also most of us are really concerned about the content that comes from Gen AI that student directly use, okay, without what we call assessing or even some of them even not rephrasing the content, right? So it's, of course, it's hard to assess, but for what we call for examination, last time we did use the what we call the we sorry for thesis we did use the AI plagiarism check, right? So that we equipped with our Turnitin, right? So, but for others, right, there are plenty of tools out there, but of course we need to choose and identify the suitability to our context of usage. Okay, so, but of course that one can only be done after we have properly come out with the comprehensive guideline on the Gen AI for assessment of that look into the Gen AI based content. Okay, and that one and other things that CDEX, I believe CDEX is looking at that as well right now.
But then more and more institutions or universities are going back to the old time, like in every of their assessment, they will require to attend a face-to-face presentation. Yeah, it seems to be in that direction these days. Like we have Viva, you know, just to verify truly if that work has been produced by the students themselves. Interesting, what you call point or perspective to discuss further, yeah, on the assessment. Thank you, Roziha. More concern from Fahrul Huyop, okay. Worried about AI technology. We can use AI to plan for everything, correct. Even to plan a kitchen, design a house, correct. But you won't have your personal touch somehow, isn't it? In a way, like Muhammad Izian mentioned here, I think we need to understand the usage of AI in general may reduce usage of our brain at one side, okay? But may intrigue more creative thinking. Yeah, I do agree with this statement. What do you think, Dr. Syed?
Sure.
Muhammad Izyan Zuhaili.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like as I mentioned, right? So as a user, right? So we have to make sure that we supply the good things to AI, right? Because AI is basically working based on the data that it has, right? But over time, they will populate the data based on the response as well. Okay, so that's why it is important to sending the good things to the knowledge or to the data. So in the end, we will not have the rubbish, right? So that is another things that we need to also what we call that's being part of the responsible AI, okay, usage. Okay?
I think, Muhammad Izyan, AI or whatever technology it is, it's just a tool. It's just one component. It's just a tool. But how we use them, that's another thing. How are you going to use them? Okay, if you look at the if you recall NALI, New Academia Learning Innovation, there's 21st century strategies, and those strategies you can apply, you know, in using AI, for example. This will promise more assurance, you know, that there will be involvement of you as the teacher with the students, you know, and if you follow all these strategies properly, I don't think, you know, the student and you yourself will rely fully 100% on the AI, because in the strategy, you need to be part of the active participant as well. Maybe that will help answer some of the question from our participant today, yeah? What else? Let's have a look. They are quite active in the chat section, Dr. Said.
What percentage limit of AI is allowed for written assignment? I think that one, I mean, percent last time, I forgot already. But we have that in our turn it in setting last time, right? For AI checking. But I forgot.
Oh,
Okay.
the
Do you remember on that?
yeah, the data in is not for AI. It's actually just for normal checking, like not more than 20%. And we don't
But we have the features to check on the AI based content as well.
under data in, yeah.
Yes.
But students are quite, I would say, smarter than us. There's always another platform, for example, like undetectable.ai that can reverse, you know,
Reverse the
the
reverse.
process. They can always paste what they have in undetectable AI and then paste it into the in, and Turnitin cannot detect the AI plagiarism. Yeah, there's an issue. Like there's one university in the US set the benchmark of not more than 60%. But yeah, this thing is quite vague, you know, whether it is valid enough or not, like I've said, and like what I think one of our participants just now have mentioned about the assessment, like Roziha just now, yeah, mentioned about assessment. It goes back to that sort of face-to-face assessment at the end of the day. That is something we can look into at the moment. What else? Let's see, more question. Is there attendance link? Okay, favorite question. Thank you, Dr. Ranjit. Okay. Our, what do you call that? Secretariat will share normally at 10:30. Okay, bear with us. Dr. Muhammad Darwish said, I think it's best to return back to paper and pen learning, huh? If you've noticed, the Sweden, yeah,
Yes.
Sweden has go back for their primary school to pen and paper. It will be really interesting, an interesting case study for us all to learn from that brave action, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a valid what we call point as well, right? Valid worry, right? Because nowadays we also experience the what we call based on the discussion with library yesterday that I had. So the student is not interested to read as well. Right? So they are not interested to read. Okay, they even don't go to library, right? So those are among the challenges that we have. Okay, so so if that's why if over reliance happening, right? We can see it's happening nowadays, right? So this is one of the things that we need to look or consider, right? In terms of how we can attract them, not to what we call only rely on the Gen AI based resources, but go back to the to the um, um, to the source of knowledge, right? So which is the books, right, or the publications that are being published. So even the library is also facing the problems because they don't have what we call patrons that being that as compared to last 10 or 15 years.
But when it comes to the matter of becoming less and more less reading just now, there are so many AI apps like Generative that can read for you.
Yes.
Last time we have to read the articles by ourselves and do the speed reading, summarize. But these days, our new generation, they don't have to do that. They can just paste everything, all the articles in Jenny.ai, and Jenny will summarize for them. It's quite easy these days. But if you look at going back to pen and paper, I may say that I don't really agree with that, because you will somehow face difficulty in the transition. Let's say from primary, secondary, you want to transit into higher education, where we all integrate, technology in the learning processes. They will have difficulty in that. So, Dr. Muhammad Darwish, instead of, simply delayed the whole process of applying technology, I would say maybe we can apply blended learning instead. There are still some, combination of the traditional and as well as online or new technology into the learning. So we won't have this digital gap, a big digital gap in a way. Okay, what else?
I think I can see some of the sharing from our participants there that change the way how they assess. I think that's a good move, right? So to avoid too many Gen AI based assessment that being done by the student, I think that's a good move, right? To change the way how we assess the students, okay, and going more on the hands-on or practical assessment, right? So that's a good move, actually.
Agree. Okay, bear with me. There's so many discussion going on in the chat section. Maybe all participants can just scroll down and have a look. Attention span, again, Fazli Hanif said, issue with attention span, commitment, empathy. Okay. Salwa said, I'm changing, the assessment of written to debates forum. This is good. Okay. In my opinion, all students, even PhD, must not use any kind of AI generation tool. It will kill, again, the same, point of view just now. Abdul Karim alias Prof. Karim, what are you doing here? The holy grail of education is writing. The mindset remains confined to using writing as an assessment tool, though now this writing can be outsourced to AI, correct? Anything interesting from the chat section you want to pick up, Dr. Syed?
Okay, I think one of the question from Dr. No Eliza, I think, is there any study on what students really want from academics and AI chatbot, etc. Okay, right. I think that there are. I saw 2 or 3 papers, right, that looks into the requirements, student voices on the Gen AI, right? So from their point of view, so I think for the past from I think one of the paper is from Korean, if I'm not mistaken, right? Korean. So let's look into Hong Kong. From Hong Kong, that looks into student perception on Gen AI technologies, right? I think they use case studies that cover the tools such as ChatGPT and other Gen AI technologies. So that one really looks into the voice of students. Okay, so from student perspective, okay? Their perception, benefit, and also their belief on the Gen AI.
Okay, perhaps if Dr. Said you have a link to share,
I
maybe you
share
can,
that
yeah,
one. Let me
maybe you
search
can,
for that again.
yeah, maybe you can post at the chat section so that every participant can benefit from it. Okay, we have to move on to another speaker. Okay, Dr. Said already shared there, the chat section. Feel free to click on it and have a look. Okay, another one question by Prof. Karim, Dr. Said. Does it make sense to use Turnitin AI to check AI generated piece? AI to check AI. Does it make sense?
Yeah, yeah, that's what we have right now, Prof. I think I can say uh, we can if we ask human to check on AI, right? So certain things, of course we have limitation, right? Because as I mentioned, AI is more the strength of AI is basically on the complexity, right? And also the what we call just now, and the two strength of AI. Compared to us, we can check, but we can check based on the our strength, which is context, okay, the human context. So we know the our understanding on the domain context is more or better compared to AI.
Okay, thank you. And Fazil Hanif said, I think this is for you also, Dr. Said, as the director of UTMX site. Ada buat dialogue regarding this between students and academician. It would be interesting to have this dialogue between students and academician. Thank you for the suggestion. Why
Yeah,
don't
I think
yeah.
yeah we will talk with MVP, right? On the possibilities to organize that, right? And of course, with the assistance of uh, CDEX and TNCAA office. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Arif, one last one. Dr. Arif, more of his point of view, yeah? Usage of AI as the tool is unavoidable, agree, because in the industry, everything is moving so fast. Like if you don't use, other people will use. It will affect your performance somehow to compete. I agree. Okay. Only as a tool to help you speed up, correct? Okay. To me, again, Prof. Karim, the way forward is not limiting the use of AI, but to reimagine the way we do teaching and learning. Of course, we still need to set boundaries for ethical use of AI. Yes, correct, Prof. This is why we mentioned just now, whatever technology it is, metaverse, AI, or whatever, even the calculator last time, remember, it was the hit. Okay. It falls down to how we use them. And this is where the strategy come into place, isn't it? With that strategy, it teaches us, even as teacher, to apply the technology properly. Okay, we should do revisit on all these strategies and understand them well. Issues with most lecturers, teachers, they don't really understand and properly implement that strategy while using the technology. They claim they use, let's say, problem-based learning, but when we check, it's not really, or they're not really applying that proper strategy with the technology when they teach. Okay, maybe we all have to go and look into this again. That will be the role of CDEX. Ethic mindset, integrity issue, and so forth. Okay, Dr. Said, would you like to add anything before we end the first session and move to the second one?
All right. Okay. I think thank you very much, everyone, for your attention and participation. Very, very active participation. I can see a lot of opinions and also questions there. Right. Thank you very much. What's important, right? So we have the technology, right, which is Gen AI. What's important to us is to make sure that we responsibly use it, and also we what we call encourage our student to also responsibly use the technology. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Assalamualaikum.
much. Thank you, Dr. Syed, for the sharing session and all for your active, interaction in the chat section. Thank you. Okay. Dr. Lokman, is the link you shared earlier is for attendance? Dr. Lokman, like I said, Prof. Lokman, yeah, like I said, 10:30, we will share the attendance. Okay, thank you. Next, we have Dr. Nurul Fahana. Are you there?
Yes, Dr. Zai, I'm here.
Thank you. Let me just introduce you first. Dr. Nurul Fahana Jumaat. She is an educational technologist and a qualified expert in instructional design, online learning and technology enhanced learning. She's also the editorial board of Innovative Teaching and Learning Journal. So Dr. Fahana will share practical strategies for incorporating generative AI into teaching practices, including some hands-on examples and prompting techniques. This is interesting. So Dr. Nurfana, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Zai. All right, can you see my screen?
It's loading. Okay.
All right.
Can see it now. Please preview your screen. Thank you.
All right, it's previewing now. Okay, all right. Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm quite nervous actually when I see a lot of people in the WebEx. Actually, 725 participants in this WebEx. So I tried to share what I've known about this topic. Okay, so I'll be sharing about how generative AI can support innovative teaching practices. So I'm from the Department of Advanced Learning Technology from Faculty of Educational Sciences and Technology. All right, so this is the outline of my presentation. And I would like to share with you about the AI-assisted lesson materials and content generations. I'll be sharing about how AI can be used as personalized learning pathways. How can we use AI as a tools to produce a formative and summative assessments, as well as checking the formative and summative assessment. And also I'll be sharing about case studies of AI integration in university courses. All right, this is some introduction from me. I just want to recap on what have Dr. Said said just now about generative AI, okay? So in a layman terms, generative AI is the AI tools or software that can create content such as text, image, videos, and codes, and it creates content based on user's prompt or simply a request. So the tools that we are familiar with, including ChatGPT, Canva AI, Synthesia, Gradescope, and a lot more. And it will help the educators to create the personalized and automate the teaching materials. So why AI is important in education? Okay, AI is important in education because it will enhance our teaching efficiency by automating repetitive tasks. We don't have to do the task a few times. Okay, by having these tools, it helps us a lot in delivering our content, in designing our content. Another important point here is AI can help us it supports personalized learning, especially for the students, okay? And AI can also help us in providing real-time feedback and instance resources. Same goes to it encourage interactive and engaging lessons to the students. Okay, as Dr. Zax mentioned before, okay, I also have a some permission from Dr. Zach to share. This slide is actually from Dr. Zach. So Dr. Zach was sharing about this thing about the TPAC framework. So for those who are familiar with TPAC framework, TPAC is consisting of technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge. In TPAC frameworks, there are three core elements, which are technological knowledge, pedagogical knowledge, and also content knowledge. For us as a 21st century educators, to deliver a highly effective learning to our students, we need to have we need to have the ability to have these three knowledge altogether. So in this framework, it clearly shown that besides your knowledge or your ability to use the AI tool, for example, which obviously in this part, the technological knowledge part, as a teacher, you also need to have a knowledge in pedagogical part, okay? Pedagogical knowledge, okay? So obviously you are your subject content expert. So the most important part is for you to design and deliver your lesson to the students. So AI is just a tool, right? So the most important thing is for you to decide which is the best learning strategy that you want to deliver in your classroom, okay? So having this having this framework, and it will really helps us in focusing on the important part, or focusing on the important things that AI in this sense is just a tools that help us in delivering our lesson, okay? So of course, as a teacher, we want our students to be creative in the class, to have a critical thinking mindset, to engage in the classroom. So in order for them to have or experience that particular criteria, you need to identify the appropriate pedagogy and innovate to enhance its effectiveness, yeah? Okay, so the pedagogy should facilitate co-learning and be personalized to cater, especially for Generation Alpha's need, okay? Generations Alphas, as we all know, they are very creative, okay? They are very advanced in terms of seeking for tools that can help them finding solutions of their daily life problems, okay? So as a teacher, we need to refine our roles and redefine our role as a teacher. Dr. Said did mention that besides being a teacher that teach the students lesson, we also need to be a facilitator that facilitate the whole learning process, okay? And make sure that our students actively involved in the classroom, right? Okay, next. The teaching methods or pedagogy should be designed to promote co-learning and personalizations. Okay, co-learning, which means the students need to be highly interactive with one another. Okay, they need to communicate, they need to actively communicate with their peers, with the instructors, obviously. So these are some of the learning strategies or learning approach that you can use to deliver your lesson in class, okay? We have project-based learning. Most of it is taken from the NALI framework, right? Okay. Project-based learning, we have flipped classroom, one of the models in blended learning. We have few models in blended learning, one of it is flipped classroom, okay? Peer teaching and mentoring, differentiated instructions, student-centered learning, and the list goes on. Okay, these are some of the strategies that you can use. Okay, you can find the details from the book. Yeah. Okay, I can see from the chat box. Are you able to see my current slide?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, all right. Seems like somebody is having a problem. Okay. So let's go to the AI assisted lesson materials and content generation. Okay, I would like to present some disclaimer here. Okay, my sharing is actually on the basic level, on the or the foundation level. I believe most of you here are very what you call it, common to few AI tools. But I would like to just share some of the tools that you can use in creating your learning materials. Okay, so for educators like us, we can fully utilize AI tools that we have. Most of it are not free, but we can get the basic features that may be beneficial for us to use for our students. Yeah. Okay, from the AI tools, it actually can help us to generate lecture notes and slides. It can help us to summarize research papers and articles. So these are the AI tools for research purposes. We can use Jenny, we can use Perplexity, we can use Consensus, just to name few. Okay, I believe most of you are expert in using the tools, right, to prepare our articles. It's not the same like what we did when we did our PhD maybe 10 or 20 years back, right? But the issues is over relying on the AI tools is very much concerning. Okay, we can also create quizzes, exams, and also grading rubrics. We can design visual contents, we can design diagrams, flow charts, okay, infographics, presentation slides. Okay, these are some of the examples. I believe most of you knew about this already. Okay, so obviously in ChatGPT, we can request ChatGPT to prepare the content of our lecture slides. So all we have to do is to provide a well-structured, clear and specific prompt to ensure that ChatGPT understand you and it able to deliver accurate and meaningful answers tailored to your needs. So the skills of knowing how to provide a detailed prompt is very much needed here. Okay. So these are the steps on generating lecture notes using ChatGPT. Okay, this is some basic steps. The first one, you need to define your topic, and you need to use a clear prompt, a detailed prompt. You need to review and refine, and you also need to prepare format for distributing your notes. Okay. And I would like to highlight on step 2, use a clear prompt. Okay, these are some of the tips. Okay, be clear and please be specific. So you need to clearly state the topic, the context, the content, or the task that you want AI, ChatGPT to address. You need to provide or to use a direct instructions, provide a clear directions to ChatGPT on what you want it to do. Okay, and use direct imperative sentences like please describe, please explain, please list, please compare. Do not use a vague statement or ambiguous words to ChatGPT. And you need to break down the complex tasks. If you want it to produce a project-based learning activities to your students, please highlight the criteria of project-based learning or the steps in project-based learnings that you want ChatGPT to prepare for you. Okay, this is the example of prompt. Okay, for the ChatGPT to create a lecture notes for you. As you can see, you ask the ChatGPT to act as a university professor. You ask them to generate lecture, and you highlight the duration of your lecture, like for 1 hour class on introduction of artificial intelligence. This is the content of your slides, all right? So these are the things that you want ChatGPT to produce. So you need to list out Please include the following points: a brief introductions, the key points, real-world applications, challenges and ethical issues, and finally summary and also discussion questions. So this is an example of effective or detailed prompt that you can provide to ChatGPT. Okay, this is the outcome. Okay, it will detail out the content. It will detail out in terms of the duration, since you mentioned before you want them to produce a 1 hour lecture session. So they will suggest the duration of time for each of the points given. Okay. Okay, another example, all right? If you want ChatGPT to create a lesson for you, okay? Example of simple prompt is like this. Create a lesson plan on topic buoyancy for secondary students with learning objective, activities, and assessment method, okay? So for the detailed prompt, it should look like this, okay? Design a comprehensive lesson plan on the topic of buoyancy for secondary students. And then the plan should include clear learning objective, engaging, blah, blah, blah. So incorporate hands-on experiments or real-world applications to enhance learning. Okay, so this is much more detailed in terms of the context that you want ChatGPT to prepare. Okay, this is another example. Okay, if you want ChatGPT to produce an essay about climate change, so you will type like this. Okay, write an essay about climate change. This is the detailed one. You provide the amount of number of words of the essay. You highlight the key points that you want to prepare, how many paragraphs that you want. If you want them to include real-world examples, you will detail out the instructions to ChatGPT. This is for coding. Okay, if you want ChatGPT to prepare coding for you, write a Python script for sorting a list. So this is the detailed prompt. You highlight, okay, a list of integers using the merge sort algorithm, okay, and the list goes on. So this is a very detailed, which means this is a very good, yeah, for you to practice on how to provide an effective prompts for the AI, okay, to understand. Okay, let's say when you want ChatGPT to create an image for you, okay, I believe all of you are eager to ask ChatGPT to create an image for you. But it's not as simple as it may seem. You need to detail out. This is very long, yeah? But the picture is so nice. It's just that I forgot to tell ChatGPT to make sure the female lecturer should wear scarves, okay? So this is me actually in front of my computer. And this is not my office, obviously, but I hope I can get a nice interior office just like in this picture. So I dream of it. So this is what the prompt looks like. Okay, create a digital illustration of a female lecturer sitting in a well-lit academic office with a modern computer in front of her. She's engaged in research surrounding books, paper, blah, blah, blah. The computer screen displays graph. Okay, the room has professional yet cozy ambience. The scene should feel intellectual, warm, inspiring, emphasizing her passion for digital education, right? So these are some free AI tools that can help you to create presentation slides quickly and efficiently, okay? There are a few actually. You can use Canva. If you prefer to use Canva, there is a feature called Magic Design where you can provide an instruction for Canva to prepare a slides presentation for you, but it is limited For basic account, it's very limited. You need to subscribe it, okay, to premium account lah, okay. And then we have Gamma. Okay, Gamma is also free but with limited features. But I think Gamma is quite okay. You can prepare up to 10 slides, okay. And then we have Tome, Slides Go, and Microsoft Copilot, okay. The one that Dr. Said mentioned just now, okay. And then there are a lot actually, okay. So you can just Google and the list goes on, right? Okay, this is actually the interface of Magic Design from Canva. Maybe some of you didn't realize it, okay? When we go to canva.com/magic design, okay, you can actually try it out, their automated slides creations by clicking on this link, and you can instruct them to prepare your slides. Okay, and then they will prepare the slides for you, right? Okay, and then this is Gamma. I think all of you are quite familiar with Gamma, right? You're all expert in generating slides with Gamma, right? Kimi.ai is totally free. Okay, thank you, Dr. Yip. I will definitely try it out, all right? So yeah, you can explore this later on. There are a lot actually when we talk about the AI tool. Okay, let me go back to the steps here. I would like to miss the point here. It's very important for us to not really over relying on AI. Okay, remember the first step is for us to define the topic, our content, our context, and then the second one is for us to use a clear prompt. Okay, and this is very, very important. Step 3 is for us to review and refine all the informations that we get from the automated generated content made by Gamma, made by Kimi or whatsoever. How to review and refine? We need to check back the details. Make sure it is reliable and it is valid. Okay, so as an educator, we should be responsible of our own action, okay, to make sure that all of the content or all of the informations provided are valid and reliable to be used. All right, okay. Okay. Okay, next is for research purposes. Okay, the research purposes. For research purposes, a lot of AI tools that we can use. Some of you use Gemini, some of you use Perplexity, some of you use SciSpace, some of you use Elicit, and obviously Quillbot. So there are a lot of AI that you can use for research purposes. And this is obviously, I use these tools to help me in organizing my thoughts, especially when I want to make sure that my sentence is coherent, if my sentence is, what you call it, is grammatically correct. So if I want them to actually summarize my research paper, I use these tools a lot, and I believe all of you also use these tools to help you for research purposes. So this definitely help us in preparing our paper, in checking our students' works. Okay. So this is Perplexity. Okay, you can ask anything. Even if you have pictures, you can upload your pictures in Perplexity. If you have graph, if you want them to explain it to you, you can ask them to do so. Okay, or even if you have an article with you, you can upload it and you can ask them to summarize the article for you. Okay, it's just that you need to provide a clear prompt for them. Okay, don't simply say that I don't understand about this. I don't know. Okay, so please instruct them. Okay, treat them as your friend. Okay, hi Perplexity. I don't have much time to read about this article. Can you please extract blah 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 for me? Okay, can you please detail out? Okay. So that's the way on how to interact with AI tools. Okay. Same goes to SciSpace. I like SciSpace a lot because it helps me to, especially in summarizing research articles. I hope I have this AI tools back in the days. Students nowadays very much, what you call it, beruntung lah to have this. Okay. And then we have Quillbot. Okay, I don't want to mention about this, right? So yeah. When I read the chat, it's very interesting. Yeah. Okay. I want AI to do my laundry and dishes. I hope I can get AI robot that can help me to do my laundry. Okay, I have two bags of laundry that haven't been settled yet. Okay, all right. This is the AI tools that can help us in design visual contents like producing diagrams, infographics, and presentations. So we have Lucidchart, Microsoft Visio, Miro, Visme, and PictoCharts. Okay, this is very helpful for me especially because I teach mobile apps learning development. I teach systematic instructional design model. So I often use this tool to help me to produce flow charts, or I will encourage my students to use this tool or software to produce a flow chart. So this helps me a lot. Okay, and now they have the AI integrated features, generate with AI. So yeah, it helps us a lot. This is Lucid app, yeah, it's to create flowchart. Okay. Again, all right. This is the most trickiest part. If you want to ask Lucidchart to produce a flowchart for you, you need to be very detailed. Your instructions should be in the form of explicit this instructions. Okay, create a flowchart that visually represents the process of online course enrollment. Okay, for example, you want Lucidchart to produce a flowchart about online course enrollment. So the flowchart should include the following components. Okay, start and end points, decision points, process, connectors. Okay, so these are the things that you need to include in the prompt area. Okay, and you can simply click on this button, okay, for them to generate the flowchart. Okay, next, how AI adapts to different learning style. Okay, adaptive learning. Okay, we talk a lot about adaptive learning. AI adjusts difficulty levels based on student progress. Okay, so adaptive learning uses AI algorithms to adjust the difficulty and pacing of educational content based on students' performance. Instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, AI customized lessons, ensuring students receive challenges suited to their skill level. So I'm hoping in the near future, we have this kind of system that actually can tracking down students' progress. And especially in a learning management system, yeah, when the system detect that certain students that did not involve much in certain topics, they will provide the notifications for them to focus more on certain topics and provide a lot more activities for that certain topics for that particular students. Okay. AI tutor tools like Canmigo and Socrative provide real-time explanations. We also have voice assistant where it promotes inclusive education. it will assist visually impaired or differently abled students to learn, especially using the technology. Okay, we have tools like TutorOceans, which obviously promote personalized learning for the students. Yeah. Okay, this is another important part where we can use AI-powered formative and summative assessment. Okay, for the first point, okay, we have automated grading where AI can check assignments. We can use tools like Gradescope and Turnitin AI. Okay, um, in at present, we are using Turnitin AI, right, to check our students' work, to check our students' thesis. But there is a concern where I believe all of you are familiar with Turnitin, okay? When you, they provide a button where you can, as an instructor, you can click the percentage of AI generated text or sentence. I read somewhere that the percentage might be false positive, FALSE, false positive, yeah. So maybe Turnitin can flag certain written text, original written text to AI generated words. Okay, so I don't know how they will rectify this matter. I think this has bring a lot of concerns among educators as well, where there can be a false positive percentage provided by the Turnitin AI. Yeah. But we can use that as a, what you call it, as a guideline for us to help us to assess our students better, right? Instant feedback, AI suggests improvements in writing, okay? And these are the other tools that I believe all of you are using it, okay? Grammarly, Quillbot, it helps us a lot in checking our words, all right? And students progress tracking, AI provides learning insights. Okay, so example, as I mentioned before, Turnitin AI for plagiarism detections and Gradescope for grading. Okay, this is a Gradescope for grading. It is highly intelligent where it can, detect the answer from the answer sheets and give marks to the students. Okay, these are some of the case studies of AI integration in university courses. Okay, how do you think AI is already shaping university educations? Okay, so we cannot deny the fact that we use AI in our daily life, and universities also use AI in generating their learning content. Like for example, Harvard use it for course material. They use ChatGPT, okay, because it saves times. It allows the educators to focus on interactive discussions in class, and it allows them to customize learning materials based on the students' need. Okay, another example is Georgia Tech. Okay, they are actually use AI teaching assistant. They develop a system named Jill Watson, an AI teaching assistant for an online computer science course. Okay, so this AI, okay, answer common students' questions, reducing the instructor's workload. It's actually intelligent tutoring system developed by Georgia Tech. So it will provide fastest responses to the students in education. Do you know that an effective lesson is when you can provide a timely, a prompt feedback to your students so that your students do not feel left out, so that they are actually aware that, okay, the instructor is there to help them. So by having intelligent tutoring robot like this, actually helps them in providing a faster responses to the students. Okay. More engagement in online discussions, and students reported improved satisfaction with instant AI support. Okay. So for examples, at UTM, we have few courses, fully online courses, fully online courses. We call it ODL program, Open and Distance Learning Programs. So it's good if we have this kind of AI support to assist our students, okay? But do not have this in mind where AI cannot replace teacher. Okay, AI cannot replace teacher. So still the role of instructor is very, very important. Okay. Okay, University of Edinburgh, okay, AI grading and feedback. They use GradeScope AI to automate grading of assignment and exam. And these AI tools can detect patterns in students' mistakes and provide instant feedback as well, right? So it gives students real-time suggestions for improvement. So this is very, very interesting. It also improves grading consistency. Some ethical considerations and challenges. This was mentioned before by Dr. Syed on over-reliance of AI. Okay, we still want our students um, to have critical, creative thinking skills. We want our students to speak in our class. We want them to communicate with one another, not just to communicate with robots. So we need to make sure that AI should just support, not to replace educators, okay? Not to replace human instructors, okay? As I mentioned earlier from the TPAC framework, all right, the implementations of integrations of learning strategies is very important for you to design a highly effective learning environment. Okay. Bias in AI generated feedback can sometimes be inaccurate or biased, cannot be reliable, right? Data privacy, universities must protect students' data when using AI tools. So these are some of the concerns that might arise, okay? Conclusion and takeaways from my talk for today is AI is enhancing university education, not replacing teachers. Case study shows AI improve efficiency, engagement, and feedback, and education should explore AI responsibility for learning experiences. Okay, I put actually station rotation model here. So this is one of the models in blended learning. Okay, so this, if you can see from this figure, okay, there are 3 stations that students need to involve in the lesson. Okay, so the first one is online instructions, teacher-led instructions, collaborative activities, and stations. So we do not use AI in all 3 of the stations. Okay, we do not use AI. So maybe we just use AI here, but we are the one who responsible to create learning activities for the students to just use AI to get an information, and then they need to discuss in classroom, they need to have collaborative activities with their friends, they need to communicate with the teacher. So this should be a better way of highlighting that AI is just a tool to support your teaching. Okay. Okay. All right. So I think that's all for my presentation, Dr. Zach. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Farhana. Okay, it's quite active there in the chat section.
Yeah.
Maybe everybody is like posting, their views. They have interesting interaction as well. Let's have a look. Any questions so far from the floor, perhaps? Yeah. Or if you want to pick up, anything from the chat section, Dr. Farna.
Okay. AI also cannot replace learning. Yes, that's true. AI cannot replace learning. AI cannot replace teachers, and it's our responsibility to ensure that our lesson is effective in a way that we are able to inculcate a critical thinking among our students. So we need to be creative in order for us to teach now. Okay.
Okay, interesting. But from your sharing just now, I like it when you mentioned the importance of prompting. Yeah, you shared how to do prompting properly. I mean, just like building strong communication with our partners, husband, wife, it takes years of practice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So learning to talk to AI tools is no different, I think.
Yeah.
And mastering the art of prompt engineering requires time and effort. But once we get it right, I think the results are remarkable.
Yeah.
That's from one aspect. What
Mhm.
else? What else? Is there any more questions? Most of the audience prefer to actually chat
Yeah.
than speak.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Thank you so much for the two presentations. I want to say this kind of presentation is timely and impactful. I wonder how quick can humanity realize how to reclaim its own human nature. I believe it's more satisfying if you produce something yourself and you develop it, even if it is not as fast as AI. We believe machines, fast is fast, but to human, according to some psychologists, to human, slow is fast, and fast is slow, actually. As if whenever you interact with AI tends to behave as if I am the master, kind of. So, and a lot of AI is now coming up, which is it is economically inclined, profit-based. So there is that competition, and we are moving to the world where we need a relational, we should relate human to human. It's more satisfying, more impactful in terms of building the human instead of having like all the time we've been repeating over reliance. When I came in starting work here, the first link that was sent to me to field was about mental health. Does it connected to too much information and quantum information given to to man, particularly the prompts, and trying to relate with the machines? So in short, what I am saying, more critical thinking as a result of human to human interaction, I think is more sustainable than a machine that anytime we may have some technical errors coming here and there, and the trust issue also among human. I don't know whether my explanation is clear. I hope I can put it in a better way.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Indah. I think you are concerned with over-reliance of AI, where actually the communications or among humans, human to humans interactions is decreasing, okay, with the existing of technology like AI. We cannot deny the fact that human to human interactions is still important, but we cannot left the technology behind us. So we need to adapt with the technology that we have now. So I actually interested when you speak about intellectual humility and ethics in using AI, because we are talking a lot about this, right, Dr. Inda, in our discussion when we want to apply to MFR.
Exactly.
Yes, so this is very interesting. The topic about ethics usage, about intellectual humility on using AI. So intellectual humility is the state where you should feel like, okay, I cannot rely 100% on AI answer. Okay, what if it's something wrong with the answer? Can I find alternatives from somewhere else? So that is intellectual humility, where you always find alternatives to the answer, provided that you understand that AI is a machine learning. It learns from you, from a human, and it crawls on the net on understanding the pattern of knowledge that they have on the net. So um, it's very subjective, I might say, but to have that kind of feeling or nature is very much what you call it, advisable in order for you to use AI. Overall, as an educator itself, okay, you should always what you call it, find resources, find materials to support your your answers, right? If you have arguments, you need to support your arguments. So yeah, it is a challenge, but I urge everyone to have that sense of thinking as well when using AI.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Inda. We have another question in the chat section from Prof. Adil. What exactly is the question? What do you think and suggest the best as for now? AI tools and related upcoming technologies for educational package machine learning will be accepted for future via AI ethical principles. Even for school kids now working on certain AI practices, hence human interference may face different challenges of higher education, such as learning and experience processes. Perhaps the high soft skill need to be developed. So what do you think and suggest the best as for now?
Okay, all right. Thank you, Prof. Adil. I think I read the articles about this a few months ago. Okay, to instill the way of using AI, I think it's best to provide an awareness even at an early stage of learning, especially for the school kids, to know about how AI works. Okay, that's the basic thing, to provide awareness for them to understand how it works, how it provide answers, and how we can actually use them in ethical way, right? So I think that's the best for now, to instill that kind of mindset among the students. Okay, I'm not talking about technology here. I'm talking about the awareness of the AI, or the understanding of AI among the users. Okay?
Thank you. I also think that, it will become compulsory for us to have a course, for every student to take on properly understand, the use of AI and its ethical impacts. We should have this in university. And AI faculty would be in charge of this compulsory course, perhaps. That's another idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Which across all faculty have to take it.
Yeah.
It can be another solution. What else? AI was invented by human as teachers, writers. So in my case, no matter what, it could never replace the human being, correct?
Yeah.
We do have two categories, isn't it? Strong AI, weak AI. The one we're dealing at the moment is mostly weak AI, the generative AI, ChatGPT and so forth. But, you know, our neighbors, the Chinese and all this, they are developing the strong AI, which is robotic, and they try to imitate, human behavior, emotions, and all this. We wouldn't know what will happen another 10 years. I'm looking forward to have Optimus in my house in the future. Yet, until they can imitate the emotion, the empathy properly, we still need humans, no matter what. And this is where it goes to the policies, guidelines. They should be implemented properly, isn't it?
Yes, it
Without
should be
this,
clearly
yeah,
defined. Yeah.
reinforcement, without all this being put properly, anything can happen.
Yeah. True. I do
Okay.
agree with you, Dr. Zach.
Okay, Dr. Hadijah. There's a lot of
Khadijah.
funny comments also, Dr. Fana.
Yes. This is just my 2 cents. AI tools is like Thermomix, yeah? We can use it even though we lack of cooking skill. But in case there is electricity disruption, without basic cooking skills, we cannot cook. So it is really important to have a balance so we can get the best of two worlds. Wow, another interesting analogy, yeah? AI is like a Thermomix. But I do agree with Dr. Hadijah, right?
Dr. Hadijah, it's not the same. I've tried cooking rendang with Thermomix and manually. It's not the same. Seriously, the taste is a bit
We need
different.
to adapt with the new technology, Dr. Zach.
I still use in case of, in a rush, but for Hari Raya, oh, no Thermomix, please.
More tastier when you cook with kuali, right? Big kuali.
It's different. Okay, some of the participants did ask about the slide, the videos. Please bear with us. I've shared with you a link to our website, yeah? Like I've mentioned in our first webinar, all the webinars are actually under our project called dxc.co. And we will put the slide, the videos in our website, but give us a bit time to compile everything, yeah? So do check once a while on the website when you need all those materials. Any more? Maybe you want to share your views. Which link to the website will the slide be located? Yes, Dr. Sarima, we will provide a link to it where you can later browse, yeah?
Prof. Lokman is asking about CPD. I think all webinars are under umum, right, Doctor? I do not have the answer for this.
Yes, CDEX have the answer for that. I think it's for, is it umum? Yes, umum. I think they mentioned about umum.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to scan today morning, and then we have another one session with Dr. Nora Shikin at 2 later, so you will get another marks also. So you have to scan both, yeah, this morning and afternoon. Okay, it's already 11:15. Anything else you would like to say, Dr. Parna?
Yes, maybe just a few words. A key takeaways from my talk this morning is AI cannot replace human. Human interaction is very much important. Okay, number two is for you to provide a clear prompt for AI to generate the correct responses that based on your own needs. Okay, and then number three is to integrate learning strategies. Okay, in your lesson, in your classroom, and just use AI as a tool to support your learning process or teaching process. Okay,
Okay.
that's all, Dr. Zach.
Thank you, thank you. More chatting coming in. Please enjoy reading them. There's a lot of what you call useful information shared by our expert audiences. Okay, because they themselves also use AI. Yeah. With this, A huge thank you to our speakers, Dr. Farhana, Dr. Said Norris, for sharing your expertise, experiences, yeah. And thank you also to all participants for your kind attention. We hope this session has provided some insight into digital or what we call AI integration in teaching and learning. But I hope you can stay tuned for another one webinar this afternoon, yeah, with Dr. Nora Shikin. We'll see you back at 2 p.m. Also, I won't be able to moderate the afternoon session, so Dr. Nora Shikin will be by herself. However, I will see you if you are still interested to attend another webinar on 20th of March, 30th of April. Yeah, 30th of April after Raya, yeah, on online learning pedagogical approach. Some which Dr. Farhana has already touched just now a bit. Yeah, we'll go in depth into that. So with this, thank you everyone. We'll see you 2 p.m.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank
Assalamualaikum.
you. Assalamualaikum and warm greetings.
Okay, again, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. So how many participants right now? We have about 190 participants. Okay. Give me a few more minutes. Okay, welcome back everyone. Okay, so me myself, Dr. Nora Shikin, binti Muhammad Zaid. So I am the educational technologist and has been in charge of the program coordinator for the Department of Advanced Learning Technology in Faculty of Educational Sciences and Technology UTM. So my topic for today, I will focus on for this afternoon, I will focus on the webinar's topic of students' engagement with generative AI in education. So let me begin. I'm going to share my slide. We don't have moderator this afternoon session, so I'm going to in charge for the whole afternoon. Let me open my slide. Okay, can you see my slide?
Can, bro.
I'm trying to slideshow. I'm not sure whether it's already slideshow or not.
And not yet a slideshow for me.
Okay. Is it okay now?
This is good. Yes, this is good.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. As I said, this afternoon I'm going to focus on the student engagement through generative AI tools. Okay. So the webinar objective for today will be enhancing. We want to explore how actually generative AI tools will foster student engagement. And then the second one, I will focus on exploring on generative AI tools for personalized, repeated words, personalized education. And then the third one will be discover AI's role in creative learning. And then the last one will be the benefit and limitations. So I'm going to discuss about the benefit, challenges, and maybe ethical consideration. Okay. Okay, actually, I'm doing some literature about the effect of generative AI on student engagement. So we found that mostly that student using actually generative AI almost for all courses, right? So for the university writing and language courses, for example, like tools like Grammarly and ChatGPT. So these tools actually can boost engagement and also motivation by providing instant feedback, where this tool can help students to refine their writing skills and increasing their confidence. But however, we actually as a lecturers, as a teacher, we need to ensure that students still can develop their original thought and creativity rather than simply relying on the AI generated answer or text. Okay, and then the second one on the programming courses. This is actually based on the 10 papers that I review. Okay, for the programming courses, because that like me myself, I'm teach a programming course, even though that we are education faculty, but we have subject that students need to take the computer subject. Okay, so for example, the programming programming course. Okay, so AI powered coding like GitHub, Copilot, what else? ChatGPT. So these tools that can enhance, of course, they can enhance student motivation. Okay, especially to debug the students their code. Okay, then generating maybe programming logic and solve complex problems. Okay, also for these programming courses that we need to make sure that students still can develop their logical reasoning and problem solving skills instead of depending solely on AI generated answer. Okay, and for the high school setting, AI has been found to increase creativity and engagement. So whether they use AI generated for storytelling, okay, or maybe for problem solving tasks or adaptive learning on the adaptive learning platform, we found that students are more engaged with their coursework. So this AI powered tutoring can actually provide personalized learning experience catering to different learning style. Okay, next. Okay, is my slide moving?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for the response. Okay, as AI become more integrated into education, so it's essential for us to understand both the benefit and challenges that bring the student learning experience. First, we see that while AI offer new learning opportunities, they are also challenges and trade-offs. For instance, students may become overly reliant on AI-generated content rather than engaging to critical thinking and problem solving. So another key area on the impact of generative AI on student engagement is where AI has enabled students to generate more posts and content in discussion, but studies shows that the peer-to-peer instruction and feedback have been decreased. So this suggests that student is actually they are actually participating more, but the quality of engagement might be affected. Okay, then a major concern on self-regulated learning, research suggests that students using AI, students that using AI may have a lower participation in exam, okay, and also maybe homework completion and independent study. So since AI provide quick answer, some students may struggle with developing a discipline and problem-solving skill on their own. So from these 10 research studies involving over 9,000 participants, they highlights that AI actually has context-dependent effects. Well, it's actually, yes, they can help to enhance motivation in specific area, but it may negatively impact on the traditional academic performance if used without guidance. So means that this AI can be a powerful tool, but it must be integrated fully into the learning process guided by the lecturer and the teachers. Okay. So this is the revert from the 10 studies. Okay, so reported 14 different type of engagement. Okay, and the common were actually motivation and also engagement. Okay. So the effect of AI on student engagement appear mixed. Okay, both positive and also the negative outcomes has been reported. Okay, across different educational setting and engagement types. Okay, and if we look on the study 6, it reported that ChatGPT has positively affected student motivation with enhancing writing self-efficacy. Okay, admin, are you around? I'm not sure whether I'm alone here. Okay, all right. So for study 10, okay, so has observed that significantly higher motivation towards programming that using ChatGPT. Well, study 9 provided qualitative evidence indicating that AI-assisted instruction positively influence student engagement by reducing student anxiety and increase student confidence. So this result actually suggests that generative AI tools may have a particularly strong impact on effective aspect of engagement, right? By providing personalized support and maybe reducing barrier to participation. So next slide. Okay, maybe you can see on the image provided in the slide, show in the slide. So this image actually show a diverse group of university students engaging with generative AI tools in modern classroom. We can see that all students have their own laptop, okay, and maybe tablets. Okay, maybe they are actually using the AI-powered educational or maybe generative AI tools while other discussing the result. Okay, between the peers. Okay, right. So we can see the consistent theme across multiple studies where the impact of generative AI tools on student engagement and satisfaction has been shown here in the slide. Okay, so the first one is the increased motivation. Okay, so then the second one is enhanced engagement. Okay, so this enhancement engagement is actually associated with the interactive and personalized nature of the AI power learning experience. Okay, then the third one is the satisfaction with personalization. Okay, and then we have the autonomous learning. Okay, these generative AI tools, they believe that can promote autonomous and self-regulated learning. So next one is the varied response. Okay, it's actually important for us to note that not all students actually respond equally positively. Okay, where one study has found that some students actually benefit from AI generated content, but others did not show improvement. Okay, next. So this is a finding on the generative AI tools, okay, for personalized education. So we found information on the regular AI tools that use in all these 10 studies. So mostly use ChatGPT, okay, and also maybe OpenAI, Coursera, okay, GPT 3.5, GPT 4, okay. So other than GPT, actually, we believe that students also use, for example, Bard AI, okay, for the explanation and research summaries. And also maybe they will use Mid Journey. So AI, that one is actually AI generated educational visual. Okay, and one more maybe Notion AI for not talking and not taking and summarization. Okay, from this study, they reveal various mechanisms through which generative AI tools provide personalized learning experience. Okay, so the first one is actually adaptive content generation. So several studies use this AI to generate content tailored to specific learning objective or student preferences. And then the second one is personalized feedback. Okay, where there's some studies highlight the use of AI for providing immediate feedbacks, okay, to the students. So this can help students to improve and reinforce learning in real time. Okay, the third one will be customized learning path. So one study described the use of AI to create and adjust learning path. Okay? These are based on individual student performance and behavior. So this one will give more dynamic and responsive learning experience to the students. Then another one is the intelligent tutoring. Okay, where they use AI-assisted course building tools that incorporate the intelligent tutoring elements. So they can provide like This one they can provide or support based on the individual's need. Okay, next. Oh, this is the one that I mentioned before. So we have the adaptive content generation, personalized feedback, customized learning path, intelligent tutoring, and the last one is the context personalization. Okay, maybe we can also discuss on the AI chatbot in education. So we know that the AI chatbot simulate human conversation to assist student in learning. So this chatbot, it offer 24/7 assistant, right? So non-stop. So student can request or ask anytime they want. So the availability for the student to get answer is easy. Okay. So this AI chatbot can provide instant feedback and also explanation when needed. So it also support personalized learning experience. Okay, then the third objectives that I'm going to share is about the the finding on discover AI roles in student creative learning. So for the creative field, we found that a wide variety of creative field represent in the study. Okay, so most field appear that indicating a diverse range of application for AI in creative education. So the most actually frequently occurring field were actually art related, okay, and then computer related, including computer science, games, programming, machine learning, and else, okay. And then the AI tools that use within this research is image-based AI tools. Okay, then they have the text-based AI tools, and okay, these two, image-based and text-based. Okay. Okay, so we know that these AI generative tools, they can enhance student creativity. So we have categorized into three. So the first one is the creative writing, then digital artwork and music, and then interactive multimedia, where they can like build any, for example, to create images, to create music, okay, song, okay, to create the video and extra. Okay. So the last finding, oh, okay, we can see the last is on the generative AI in higher education, where we want to see on the adoption and concern about the use of generative AI. Okay, so we found that there are high adoption rate uh, between 66.7% and 78.7%. Okay, so we can see on the bar chart. And then on the pie chart, it's highlight that ChatGPT is actually the dominant generative AI tools among the students. Okay, with 86.2% of students using compared to other generative AI tools. Okay, then also several studies reported that students generally demonstrate positive attitudes towards the generative AI tools, with the high level understanding and intention to use this technology in their academic works. So across multiple multiple studies, a significant proportion of students reported using generative AI tools. So student expectation of Gen AI tools were multifaceted. So they view actually these tools as tools that become their potential assistant during completing their homework or their studies. And they expect that these Gen AI tools can be their tutors and then also become the digital peers in their learning processes. So this perception suggests that students see these generative AI tools as more than just productivity tools, but also as integral part of their educational experience. Yeah, so of course that from this usage of the generative AI tools, the benefits like can save times, can generate a new idea, provide personalized explanation, and maybe also complement the traditional instruction. Right, but then we have concern on the use of generative AI among the students. So the first issue is about accuracy and originality. So we know that AI generated content may sometimes contain error and maybe outdated information or even fabricate details of maybe something that we believe that this is not the original idea. So student needs to verify, not only student, but we as educators, as lecturers and teachers, we need to verify and cross-check the sources before relying on the answer or output from the AI. So secondly, there is a risk of over-reliance which can actually affect critical thinking skill. We know that I think mostly students nowadays they rely too much on AI generated response. Sometimes some of students they maybe not not cross check the sources and just copy this the 100% answer from the AI. So they may miss out on the cognitive effort needed. Okay, so for example, we need to analyze, we need to synthesize, and maybe apply information effectively. So another major concern is actually academic integrity. So even and we know that AI tools can generate essay, can generate coding, can provide us so many information. So there's a issue about the ethicals, where we need to focus on the plagiarism and the originality of the terms. Okay, so institution and also educators, we must find way to ensure that the AI that used as a learning aid can actually help student, okay, and develop their own skill, not depending 100% from the AI tools. Okay. Okay. Then for the integration challenges, even despite the benefit, we know that there's a lot actually benefit from the use of generative AI. So the studies also highlight several challenges in integrating generative AI tools into higher education. So the first one is the variability in student benefit. Okay, as we know that not all students actually benefit from this AI generated content. So there's a challenges, okay, for us to make sure that there are necessities, careful consideration of individuals, okay, that depending on their students' need and learning styles. Okay, then we need to balance between engagement and learning outcomes. Okay, okay, we know that actually the motivation is not like is happen directly, but it need terms it need like a, a bit long period, okay, to see the gain the result, okay. So then for the ethical concern, okay, so how maybe the concern about the potential plagiarism and critical thinking while using the generative AI tools. So we need to make sure that we need to remind the student about their responsibility in learning. Okay, and then the need for the pedagogical support. Several studies have emphasized, okay, the importance of integrating AI tools within a some of pedagogical frameworks. So it's required ongoing support and also training, okay, for educators to effectively leverage these AI tools. Okay, then the long-term effect. Okay, actually most of the study focus reporting on the short-term outcomes. But the long-term effect, it may take a few more years, okay. But because since AI has been used recently, so we are actually unclear on the available information on the long-term studies. Okay, then for the technical integration. Okay, some studies actually successfully integrated AI tools with existing system. Okay, and for UTM, we believe that UTM trying to include the generative AI tools into our LMS, our e-learning system. Okay, then for the quality and reliability of AI generated content, so we need to ensure that the accuracy and the reliability of AI generated content, especially specialized on the advanced subject, so must be need to address. Okay, it's become our challenge during this current technology. Okay, so I think I only have until this slide, so just about half an hour. So maybe I will open to Q&A, and I will share the attendance link. And I hope that you can also fill in the feedback survey. So I'm going to copy this into the chat. So I'm going to share the attendance. Let me stop the sharing first. Okay, can you open the attendance link? And there's one more link I need to share. So I hope that all of you can also fill in the feedback survey. Okay, can you also check on the feedback survey? Can you open the link? All right, okay, thank you for the response. So maybe I can open for the discussion for the this afternoon topic. I'm happy to see that there's still all, all of you still stay until the end of this session. So maybe we can discuss something about the student engagement. Okay, there's a one question. Okay, could you briefly comment on how a noob or not so AI savvy can adapt to AI tools for student engagement? You mean the teachers, right? The lecturers? Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm not sure whether I try to answer your question. Okay. I believe that some of us, especially for the senior lecturers, they are not actually familiar themselves with the technology, right? So I think where you can start, actually you can begin with the use of the familiar or the popular tools, okay, like ChatGPT, okay. So and maybe the Microsoft Copilot, okay. So because I think that tools that like ChatGPT, they are very like basic. I mean that especially, and the interface also can be very simple. Okay, you can start with that type of AI tools. Okay, and then you need to have a lot of experiment. Okay, you need to like prompt, try to use or maybe refer to the guideline how to prompt the correct, okay, the correct questions. Okay, and then maybe also you can like learn that. Of course, you can learn that from the training provided. I think right now we can find video from the YouTube, and also maybe you can ask friends to help. Okay, so I think that's the answer. Okay, maybe any idea from the others participant? And I think UTM, they provide a lot of training, especially during this Ramadan month. I think because we are trying to get the most PD point, so I think UTM CDEC have provide so many workshops, okay, including the AI, to use the generative AI tools. I think last yesterday, I think they teach how to use maybe to yesterday on another 2 days, they how to create kad raya, right?
Assalamualaikum,
Okay,
Dr. Dr. Shikin.
yeah, you
Can I
want to
ask?
respond? Yeah,
No,
Dr.
no, I have
Fatima.
a question. Is there a possibility that UTM might subscribe to any of these AI tools so that we Yeah, like some other software like SpaceX or and Vivo, useful ones that the university can subscribe, so that we do not have to pay for it. That if
Yeah, I
like
understand.
maybe the
It's very
committee, like your
costly.
committee, can decide which would be the
I
best
think,
to
yeah,
invest in.
Dr. Sarima. Okay, thank you for the question, Associate Professor Dr. Sarim. Okay, I think in the morning session, Prof. Shed already mentioned about where UTM actually um have their agenda to actually to integrate the generative AI tools into our e-learning system. So hopefully we can receive a new good news from especially from Dr. Nurbeha later on. So they are working on that. Okay, because of course, all these generative AI tools, they are very uh, costly. Okay, even we are as the educators also sometimes we need to use a lot of different generative AI tools, right? Okay, that's what I heard from them. So maybe just need to wait maybe a few months, hopefully by this year.
That will be great, Newton. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, all right. Sorry. Dr. Azam, you want to share something?
Yes, Doctor. Thank you very much for your presentation, and I think it's a time that everyone goes, with the application and the use of the AI. I have like more like comment rather than a question. So the
Okay.
first comment is that it's important that we emphasize to our students that using AI and applying AI should come after practicing the traditional what do you call the traditional tool, and become more familiar and more practical with them, more familiar with them. Then afterward, maybe at the later stage, they can use AI applications, or at least some AI tools we need to leave for now, like for the future. Because if we encourage them to use now, let's say in the early stage, then there is a risk that they will completely rely on them, and they will never know how to use, how to use their minds, and how to practice the traditional way. I have a sort of example. When you go to learn how to drive, you
Mm-hmm.
have two options. You have manual and you have automatic. So
Yeah.
if you go for automatic, you cannot drive manual. But if
Yes,
you go
correct.
manual, you drive both. You drive manual and automatic. So this is my first point. The second point actually is related to us as educators. Uh, I believe before encouraging students, we need to be like ourselves. We need to be familiar with them. We need to use them, and then we can direct the students to certain, specific and selective AI tools. There are tens, maybe hundreds of AI tools. Maybe students only familiar with ChatGPT,
Mm-hmm.
but because I'm familiar and I'm conducting training in this stuff. Every single, let's say I'm from engineering background, every single engineering discipline, there are a bunch of tools, AI tools that can help in design, in analysis, and so many things. And the good thing regarding the need to subscription, there are so many packages for free that we can use. It's just a matter that there's a limitation per usage
Yes.
of, like let's say you use it for today, but you cannot use it, you use it like for 1 hour or one time or three times a
Mm-hmm.
day, something like that. But still, you can practice them, you can use them, and you can even walk the students through. Just final thing, I believe it's better that we continue this, like we make it more like, I don't want to say compulsory, but
Mm-hmm.
some sort of systematic courses for the educators, for us, for the staff, to apply and use them in our teaching. Not maybe now it's good to have them as optional courses the way you are doing. It's good, but in later stage I think we should all of us should become more familiar and get more courses in these kind of courses, in this kind of topics. Sorry. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Azam. Okay, I think that's a good analogy for driving, right? Okay, so you need to learn, if you learn the manual, so you can drive both the manual and auto car. Okay, that's correct. Yeah, right, thank you. And is there any other feedback or sharing?
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Shikin.
Salam. Who's
Okay.
talking? Hey, Dr.
Adiba.
Okay, Dr. Adiba.
Okay, I am also not so good in AI because I think maybe of the maybe because the students is more proactive and so on. But what I did in my class is, for example, I teach the research method. In the literature review part, for example, I will ask them to share how they using AI to find the literature review. So from there, actually, I also learn a few tools of AI. Because at the same time, they will show how to, for example, okay, I'm using SciSpace. Okay, for example, I'm using, let's say, ChatGPT, for example. So I learn a lot also from the students, but to make it shortcut, I ask them to show everybody how to find or how to generate a good literature review from the AI. But at the same time, I also learn from them. Maybe it's also a shortcut for me to learn AI tools, especially something that related to my teaching. Okay, thank you, Shikin.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Adiba. Maybe you can also share, Dr. Adiba, how actually you going to marking the student assignment or
Okay,
project?
actually that one is not for the assignment. That one is a part of our practice. The assignment is actually the proposal, the research proposal. So the PLO related to the research proposal is nothing to do with the AI. Actually, it's nothing to do with the technology. It's something that more on the critical thinking. But because I embed, how they do the literature review using AI. Okay, that's why that one is kind of practice. Actually, I want to show them how you can be critical from the information that you get from AI. Okay, and then how you want to summarize it or synthesize it. Okay, but at the same time, actually, because I want to know what type of AI that they always use, okay, when they prepare the literature review. So that is why I asked them to present. But it's actually ungraded assessment. The assessment which is graded is actually the proposal that they will produce after the class process lah. Okay, means that I'm not actually grading about the AI or technology because it's not in my PLO. Okay, thank you, Dr.
Okay,
Shikin.
thank you. Yes, correct, Dr. Adiba. Uh, I always use like asking the student because we know that there's a lot of tools available, right? So
Betul.
because we don't have like times for ourselves to explore all the
Yes.
AI tools, so normally we ask the student to find and use any kind of the AI tool that they want to use during the activity. So from there we learn something. Okay, that's a good approach. Okay, thank
Thank
you,
you,
Dr.
Dr. Shikin.
Adiba. Okay, right. Is there any more feedback and question?
Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Yeah, Dr. Indah.
Thank you so much for sharing. Actually, I go by the submission made by my director and the other fellow regarding manual. From my experience, when I realized that I tend to use the following, I said, my student, I have 4 I's. The first I is information, the second I, implication, and the third I is implementation and inspiration. What do I mean is whatever you get from AI, whatever you get from articles, whatever you Google, this is just information. as if you shop ingredients. So, an implication, you have to show this is where you can develop your critical thinking. Tell me, how can this information become meaningful to you, meaningful to your cause, meaningful to society, meaningful to your future? So I now encourage them not only having this, then show also implementation. How would we implement that? And finally, I tell them this is the juicy part, which is inspiration. It's not what I give you as mark, but what would you be with it throughout your life? So this really helps me, and I find it so functional. The students are happy. I'm also happy. At the end, that juicy part is what they will go out to, the class from. So there are no more just focusing on AI, but all that they can get from AI is just information. So the meaning they get from that information is now developing their critical, they now analyze it, synthesize it, and finally have what inspired them, what they take as lesson, as feedback. So instantly I ask them to write with handwriting manually. So they will just now give their reflection to what inspired them from all the process. So I think this will help aside from just over relying to the AI tools. Assalamu alaikum. I think I just
Yeah.
sharing what I do.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Dr. Indah. It's a good sharing. Okay, so I'm still waiting for maybe the last question or the last input sharing. Okay, I think is it from Dr. Uzaria? Okay, I think yes, I think I already installed for the NVivo 15. Yes. I think early is it early January or February? Early January, I think. So maybe who want to use the NVivo 15 that has integrated with the AI tool, so you can install for the NVivo 15. You can get from our UTM Digital. Yes, because they provide the license for lecturers and students, right? So I think this is actually a benefit, okay, for them. Okay, ask the student to use the current version, the latest one, in Vivo 15. Right, I think there's no more question or sharing from others, so maybe I can end our today's session. Okay, and let's bring to the end of today's workshop. So on behalf of the organizing team, so I will express our deepest gratitude to all our speaker from the morning until now today until this afternoon. Okay, so because sharing the knowledge and expertise. Okay, and we hope for today's session, it has given you the valuable insight and practical strategies to incorporate the generative AI into your teaching and learning practices. So once again, we apologize for Dr. Nurbiha absence, and thank you for your understanding. Then we will keep you updated on the rescheduled session with Dr. Nurbiha. So thank you once again for being part of this workshop. So we look forward to see you again at our future event. Okay, have a great day, everyone. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.